Thank you so much for being here. Happy to offer some workshops while I'm in Ashland. I love the studio. This is in Rebound. And since we have kind of like a sweet, semi-private experience, I'd like to just ask before we get started if there's anything special you'd like to experience. Anything you want me to cover. We can talk about body parts like neck, shoulders, lower back, hips, or we can talk about poses, which when you're new to the poses, at least for my teachings, but any of the trainees, if there are poses that you felt would be helpful to review, feel free to chime in.
And well, anything that you know, since I'm on the shoulder kick, like anything that you're thinking of when you're teaching to say about the shoulders,
yes,
would be interesting.
Shoulders. Yes, and shoulders are real popular in terms of injury, so I do a lot of lubrication of the joints, both the hip joints and the shoulder joints, so we're going to focus on that today. And I've been fleshing out a therapeutics program for the last 3 or 4 years called AYRx Therapeutics. It's the AerialRx version. And so today I would like to talk about the alignment principles. We're moving into the therapeutics tomorrow. But just as a review for what we learned, the first thing that I would like to share with you guys is our pillar. And so a lot of the teachings that I offer in the swing directly translate into my meditation practice. And so it's just really good to start in the center of the mat and find your pillar. So when I say pillar, I want you to look down and notice that there's this lovely AYRx logo. It happens to be the Venus transit, but we'll get into that later. But this whole practice is a heart opening practice. So stand in the center of the mat with your feet in the pillar, in the circle, and feel the crown of your head rising up towards the sky. And so there's this column of light that exists for our body, for our spine. And when we get connected to that vertical axis, I refer to the axes or planes quite a bit, then we're gonna always move along our pillar, along our axes. And most of the time, the part of our pillar that's obviously out of alignment is the head. And so when people look down, they're off axes, right? And if you look down, because the spine is connected, that means the tailbone is usually tucked under or around under. So we're gonna really focus on what our tailbone feels like and what the crown of the head feels like in a lot of these poses. And then once we get that alignment, we can stack the bones. So all the vertebrae can line up, and therefore we get this kind of long energetic flow in our central column, in our central pathway. And that's how we release the nervous system, start to lubricate the joints, and take pressure off the discs. It's incredibly healing for the body to start to find that pillar in alignment. And to do that with something that's supporting us and using gravity as our capacity to suspend ourselves to create even more alignment. So let's just start with our pillar and find that in a sumo squat. So we're going to inhale our arms towards the sky and notice that your pillar is right underneath your plumb line. We have 2 daisy chains holding the swing. And then we're going to wrap our arms around the swing. It'll feel like a little bit high to begin, but then it stretches, you know, and it'll all stretch down. But just bring your hands to prayer. Starting out in Namaste. So this is a yoga practice loosely. It's kind of my own yoga translations, I call them. We learned 8 translations so far this weekend. And we always hug the swing. So in all the poses, our wrap is outside in, both with our legs and our arms. And so sometimes I'll use this pose, Namaste, to represent that. And so we'll always hug the swing. If you're in a pose and you go like this, you'll hear me go, no, no, no. And then when you wrap your arm around, I'll go, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I usually have a microsecond before you'll slide out, and nobody has gone kerplunk yet in my classes. So that's my quick cue for no, 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 keep your hook, keep your hook, keep your hook. So we're hooked underneath the armpits. It can get a little uncomfortable, so we'll switch it up. We'll have the swing behind the back, we'll have the swing at our hips, we'll have the swing at our waist, we'll have different variations. Then we're gonna use our forearms to press it down, right, nice and strong, and then just lean back and just notice the bounce. Woo! So these are pretty stretchy, right? You can hold on and bounce a little bit. Just keeping our feet in the center of the mat. See what it's like to just gently rock from side to side. So the swing is kind of on the lower part of the ribs, below the sternum to begin. So this is our swagger. We do a lot of swaying in the swing. And there's a few arm positions I really like. This is a forearm press, right? So your arms are behind the swing, pressing towards me with a diamond shape with the hands. And we're gonna use our forearm press to keep our hook. If we don't press forward, then it rides up too much and pinches the underarms. From there, we're gonna slide into 12 o'clock on our mat. So we use the mats as like a little clock. And so they're moldable mats that I make that go with the program. They're very nice to keep the alignment. And then we're gonna stay right underneath our plumb line, right along our central axis and pillar, but we're gonna walk our feet out to 10 and 2. So can you keep your pillar? Can the crown of the head start to communicate with the tailbone, which means you're gonna drop in even more. Yeah, that's it, drop the pelvis. So the sternum stays lifted while the hips drop. And that's what creates this dynamic tension or this space in the body. All these upright postures are enough to get the benefits of the practice. You don't need to go upside down, although of course you get even more benefit going upside down. You can do everything upright. And for people who are pretty new, keep your diamond with the arms if you can. It's a little challenging for the arms, but we're starting to strengthen the upper body to hold our weight. Yeah, so we're rearranging the shoulders in this position. We're not used to having our arms in this position, so you'll feel all this working after the last 12 hours. I'm a little sore, but good sore. I'm like, oh, those are my pecs. Okay, so can the crown of the head communicate with the tailbone in all these poses, which means the pubic bone is going to roll under. So it rolls back and down. Most people have their hips pressing forward because the pelvis is locked, and we're trying to drop the pelvis. And I call it belly dancing moves, where we allow our hips to shift a little from side to side, kind of kinking the waist. That's it. Just see if that feels good. Beautiful, guys. Everyone's a belly dancer in here, so this is easy. For most people, this is really challenging. They move in these kind of block formations, but we want to isolate the pelvis and start to create some lubrication in the hip joints there. You might hear some crackling as you roll around, because this is not our normal movement. We're usually sitting in lateral movement, and this is great to loosen up all the connective tissue and work with the fascia in there. Beautiful, guys. Okay, we're gonna press back because usually the next question is, what do we do when there's too much pressure underneath the arms? And we lean back, we press our forearms forward, get the swing a little bit lower, below the tips of the shoulder blades, and then we're gonna open our arms wide and go into chillaxin arms, which is interlacing the fingers behind the back of the head, right where the spine inserts into the skull. It's called the occiput. We're gonna pull up and out on a diagonal, and then we're gonna add a little bit more sway. So even here, we're gonna keep our pillar. So we're not gonna bow, we're actually gonna keep a long line of energy from the tailbone to the crown of the head. See if you can feel that. This is a lot more detail than I normally give in the aerial yoga play, which is more practice and poses and exploring the body. But since I'm blending more of the AYRx, I'm going to give lots of refinement, tuning up the poses so that it's more therapeutic. Okay? Pulling up and out, enjoying the sway. I call it weeping willow because it's like your upper body is just swaying in the wind and you have nice strong roots rooting down. Beautiful, let's come on back to center. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, forearm press, right? So we press forward, make sure it's nice and low because it's always gonna ride up. Guaranteed, gravity's doing a good job. That's great, everybody's hooking their wings now. Now, if this happens, can you see the difference? What happens, it slides up on top of my scapula and then my shoulders come up to my ears. It's not that great for the alignment. So again, if that happens, hop or rotate the swing down just by leaning back. There you go. And it'll slide back underneath the wings. Beautiful. There's all kinds of cool poses we can do from here. Let's come into some lunges. So I like to call the lunges lounging. So we're gonna walk our feet wide to 9 and 3 on the mats. We're gonna press back and then over to the right to begin and really lounge into it, which means drop your hips more than you're used to. And then your tailbone's gonna trace the back edge of the mat. So we push back and around to the left. That's it. Stay nice and low. Back and to the right. Beautiful. Back and to the left. Now we try to keep our feet nice and wide so the knee will track over the ankle. That's good, everyone. and back and over. So we're really splaying our hips out more than normal. You guys feel that? Even after 100 times, there's still more stretch in there. That's beautiful, Uma. Okay, let's press back one more time. Big back bend, stretch, 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 chillax in arms. Weeping willow, a little bit wider, add a little bit more swag, a little bit more play from side to side. We have plenty of space and room, so you don't necessarily have to sync up with your neighbors, have some free flow, freestyle for a little bit. I like to bend one knee and then the other knee and alternate so I can get a little bit more arch and side body stretch happening. Beautiful. Okay, great. When you're ready, come on back to center, heel toe the feet together, front of the mat, go ahead and slide in. So the mats are like a microfiber suede, and then when they get wet, they get really grippy, but otherwise we have this nice smooth slip. So they're both slippy and grippy. So now we're gonna just come staying in our weeping willow, sway from side to side. Keep your chillaxin arms. Let's do a forward lunge with a back bend. Pick up your left knee and shoot it back. Keep the toes tucked under. Bend the right knee. Both knees bend, but stay arched from behind the heart. You'll get this big stretch through the quad, psoas, belly. Let that feel good. Should be nice and strong. And then reach up and grab for the swing. We're going to do some bicep curls. So we're going to lift straight up and down, finding our pillar. Right? So crown of the head towards the sky, tailbone straight down. Use your legs and your arms evenly. Try using all arms. See how hard that is. Try using all legs and see how easy that is. And just find the medium, the middle ground between those two. Feet are hip distance apart if you can. Beautiful. Let's press back. Both legs straight, out in front. Let's go back to our chillaxin arms. Weeping willow, reset. In between. We'll probably do about 100 bicep curls by the end of today, but we are secretly getting strong as we get long. Find your breath. Let the breath initiate the movement. And then from center, pick up the right knee, shoot it back. Toes stay tucked under, so the knee stays lifted. Keep your back bend, but bend the left knee and slide in. All right, so arch from the heart. Upper thoracic spine lifts. Sternum facing the sky, head relaxed back into your hands. And then we're gonna pulse. We're gonna inhale, open our arms wide. Exhale, grab for the swing. Bicep curl straight up and down. Right, so lift, lower, lift, and lower. So we're doing our lunges, but with a little bit of support, which is really nice. Plus we get to incorporate some upper body strength, which is really important. So focus on that quad and hip flexor, opening by being straight up and down. That's it, straight up and down. Beautiful, until we get tired of doing that. Lean back, both feet forward, chillaxin arms, sway it out one more time. We're gonna come into a really cool twist. I've been doing some new twists. We always do side to side, some spins, circles, and then twists. Okay, so it looks like this. Come on back to center, inhale, open the arms wide, exhale, forearm press. Make sure the swing is nice and low. Give it a little adjustment. Always push it down if you need. And then we're gonna bend the left knee. Take the right foot, shoot it underneath you on the 9-3 axis, right? And once we're here, we're gonna flex the right toes back and then just heel toe over to 1 o'clock. See how that feels. And at the same time, we're gonna drop straight down. It might be a little intense, so you can inhale and pulse and lift, and then exhale and drop. That's what I was saying. And we just ate as well, so if you eat too much and try to do this, it's like, oh, hello, belly. Exhale, drop. Inhale and lift, and drop. Just tiny little micro movements really help in these poses that are intense. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Okay, this is how we transition out of it. We're gonna bend the right knee down, heel toe over to 9-3 with the left foot, and then use your arms to press, press, press towards the windows. Exhale, you're kind of spring-loaded, come back to center, come back to me, and then exhale, press. Yeah, use the upper body to twist, using the resistance to strengthen, and twist. Good. Pulse back to center, and twist. Oh, so good. Hold on to the swing. Wiggle your way back to 12 o'clock with both feet. Big lift or hop to adjust to make sure the swing stays into a good position. Reset the spine. with our chillaxin arms and weeping willow. Just sway it out, integrate, let it feel good. Lots of pause in between for these. And then one more side. Go ahead and shake it out, jazz hands, shake, 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 and then come back to forearm press. Okay, so bend the right knee, take the left foot, shoot it underneath to the 9-3 axes, and then I'm just gonna walk my toes over to 11, maybe even 10-30 if that feels good, keeping the toes flexed, and then drop the hips straight down to the center of the mat. You can inhale and lift slightly, keeping the arms engaged, exhale, drop the hips. Everybody feel this stretch? This is usually the culprit for lower back pain. We're actually mobilizing the SI joints here and getting a good stretch through the obliques and QL and piriformis. All those lovely muscles if you know body parts. So intense along the iliac crest to get this much space. And using your own body weight makes it safe, plus the support of the swing so don't go too far. Just kind of relax into it and hang. The more we hang, the deeper the stretch. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, let's bend the left knee, drop it down to center, heel toe over to 9-3 with the right, and then add some twists if it feels good. I like the resistance. I feel like it helps me strengthen the muscles that along the intercostals that help me engage the upper body. So coming, pulsing back through center, you're gonna be buoyant like a rubber band, and then the twist go as far as you can towards the acrobat. Can everybody feel your stomach muscles working here? It's pretty amazing to get those obliques working in such a different way. Yep, and twist, and come on back through center. Just unfurl yourself to 12 o'clock. That feels like enough there. We're just gonna play with angel wings because it's fun. Feet at the front of the mat. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, press towards me, all the way up into a T. Lift the gaze, remember your pillar. Exhale, swim all the way back and around. Stay synced up back there. Inhale, press forward, all the way forward. And then exhale, sink back. Gaze up the whole time, so one more time. Inhale, swim forward, stay forward. And now we're gonna walk it out, so bend the elbows into a flexed position, up by the ears, and then we're gonna walk it wide to 9-3 on the mat. And let's just play with wide straddle, mini forward folds. We're not gonna come down all the way. In fact, can you keep your upper body level? Can you find that pillar along the horizontal axes from the crown of the head to the tailbone? What would that feel like? To pull the energy out through your hips as you're lengthening forward. Maybe don't go down nearly as far. Keep the head in line with the body, don't let it droop. And kind of hang off the top there. And then once you feel centered, come back to 12 o'clock. Let's drop the left hand down into a football stance and just pull forward, arch and open, and then exhale, make a fist, squeeze the fist towards your sternum and bring out your spine looking towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, look down. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Just do 5 pulses like that. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, down. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. See if that feels good. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, look up and twist. Straighten the top arm, hold on to the swing, make an X and draw it overhead. Now we're going to strengthen our arms and see how it goes today to come into some superfly positions, or at least superfly prep. So even here, the key to keeping the shoulders happy is you can bend the elbows slightly if you need, but the ears stay above the biceps. If we drop our head, it's heavy and it strains the shoulder joint, right? So we're gonna come down halfway with a flat back and you press, 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 use the underbelly of the arms to strengthen the joint. That's usually where it gets weak. And we're pulling all the energy towards the center line as we lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, lift all the way up. Unthread the left so it can come over top, hook it, and then right hand will drop down right underneath your gaze, football stance. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist, fist towards the sternum. Inhale, lengthen again, exhale, look down. So we're keeping that pillar. Inhale, lift and twist, wringing out the spine. You might get a free adjustment here, which is awfully nice. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, look down. Last time, inhale, lift and twist. Really using your arms to engage. Exhale, look down and straighten the left arm towards the sky. We're gonna hook the swing with our fingers. Lift with both hands to bent elbows. Remember the position of the head, right? So the ears don't drop below the biceps. And then just play with lunging from side to side and see what that feels like. Maybe add a little rhythm wave through the spine as you move from left to right and see how that feels. Adding a little bit of a spin or a semicircular shape. And pay attention to the collapse in the belly. Can we pull up and lift through the navel so that we have that long line of energy from the tailbone to the crown of the head? Just paying attention to where there's length and strength and when there's a little bit of a loosey-goosey action in the spine. And then we can add a fluidity around the structure, right? So having both the yin and yang in the body. Come on back to center. We're just gonna pulse for a few breaths, coming on up, straight arms, press, press, press. Exhale, lower down, rest. Inhale, lift, press, 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 strong arms. Exhale, lower. So see how important this is to do superfly? Ladies that have been practicing, these are the muscles, right? Inhale, press, 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 and lift. Come all the way up. Heel toe your feet together, center of the mat. Shake it out. Just notice how the upper body feels. That was a lot of upper body, right? So I don't do a whole lot of strengthening in the intro workshops in general, more strengthening in the intermediate, but it's just good to know like what muscles we need to use to lift our upper body. I'm just gonna demo for you to see what superfly looks like in case you're curious why, because it actually makes it more fun to do these exercises if we can see why we're doing them. So otherwise it's just like, you know, another workout class. So in superfly, we're gonna use the swing around our hips, holding on to the leg loops, press our feet in, and then turn over and lift. So the only way we can get this big lift with the upper body is if we have that strength in the underbelly of the arms. So eventually, maybe today, maybe not, we'll be able to pop up into superfly. But we've been working on all day. So yeah, without that really strong center line pillar, when we go to fly horizontally, if we don't have our axes, we're going to collapse in the center, just kind of like a straw with a kink of it. And a kink of it, instead of being like a seesaw, where our feet come down, our head comes up because we're so used to pressing and lifting. Okay, so let's go into some forward folds. Get into the back body. Now let's switch to the swing at the hips. We stand in the center of the mat, the same pillar, right? Most people look down. What we're going to do is feel the ground instead of looking there, right? So keep the crown of the head lifted, straighten the arms, let the swing touch the top of the legs. Glue the balls of the feet into the mat because at this point you're probably going to do a little slip and slide unless we use our suction cups. Press the hips forward and then come through angel wings, just like we did a moment ago, to the arms. Now from this position we're going to use the strength of our back to lower down and then immediately come right back up. All the way back up, hello, back up kitties. I know, up, 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 and then I know, it's tricky. It's a little slippery. Let's go ahead and try again. Come on down, and then right back up. Yes, press, press, press your hips. That's it, you got it. So we're lowering our center of gravity to our pelvis and leading with our pelvis by pressing forward and back, staying up onto the balls of the feet. Beautiful, it's a great way to strengthen the back. Okay, next time we're gonna come on down all the way, hands to the ground, shake it out. Keep your heels lifted for this version so your hips are pouring over the front of the mat and gently rock from side to side. It might feel very intense on your hip flexors. We're not used to all this pressure. So let me show you what to do if it feels uncomfortable. Slide your hands to the front of the mat. Let your feet lift so they're no higher than the hips, right? About a foot off the ground. Drop your elbows and let yourself float. It's called a floating leaf. From here, the swing should be fully on your legs below the hip bones, and that is sometimes a little bit more of a comfortable position. Gently rocking from side to side. Those little micro movements will massage out any tightness or stickiness in the hips. Beautiful. Now, if we ever wanted to rest in this position, we can immediately come into a supported headstand, clasp the fingers, keep the elbows right underneath the shoulders, bend the knees, feet together, heels by the bum, and the crown of the head touches down. So that's a nice, easy way to come into a supported headstand, right? So just play with the pivot point at the hips. If you pull your knees down, then there's less weight in your head. And if you lift your knees up, then there's more weight. So just play with that pivot point and see what feels good. How much weight do you want on the top of the head? So pulling the knees towards the chest changes the position of the torso, which is fun to know. So we work a lot with pivot points in this class, in this practice. Okay, beautiful guys. So now we're gonna float again. Let your feet come down towards the back of the mat, heavy toes, maybe you touch down. Go ahead and let your hands also come to the front of the mat, hip distance with the feet, shoulder distance with the hands, and we're gonna stretch it out. So hands like about a foot or two in front of your mat. Let your tail wag a little bit from side to side. I call it happy dog. Wag your tail. We're gonna inhale, lift the left leg up, arch and open. Let's come into some leg lifts with a cat's meow. Exhale, pull the knee to nose, squeeze. Inhale, lift, arch. Exhale, knee to nose, engage your core. Inhale, left leg lifts. Now let's just stay up and lift and pulse. Press, press, press. Heel towards the sky. Press, press. Engage the hamstring into the sit bone. Nice and strong, back of the body. And then exhale, that foot comes down. Wag your tail, happy dog. Take a few breaths to loop-de-loop, figure eight, play, explore, whatever feels good. Do tiny little micro movements if it feels too intense. And just adjust, bringing the swing down closer to the legs by lifting one foot at a time and shimmying from side to side. All right, let's all come back to center when you're ready. Inhale, look up, pull your shoulders over your wrists, and then add your right leg. Arch and open, straight leg up. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Activate your core. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, pull forward, arch. Exhale, knee to nose. All right, this time we're gonna stay up. Inhale, lift and pulse. Stay arched in the upper back and then heel towards the sky as high as you can. Lift, 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 lift. Super important to get the hamstring and ass connection working properly, which will avoid injury in the future. And then both feet down, sway it out from side to side. Last happy dog for now. Okay, let's come into our floating plank position. Hands to the front of the mat. Feet are going to be level with the earth. Okay, straight arms, stack the bones. So your shoulders are right over your wrists and your wrists are shoulder distance. We're going to just bicycle here. And see how it feels to just bicycle the legs in the air. Keep pulling forward with your fingertips and let your gaze be forward so the crown of the head is pointing towards the front of the room. And then from our bicycles, let's try bringing our knee to the outer elbow, alternating sides. It might be a little intense on the hip flexor.
Just a little.
A little bit. Go as far as it feels good. And then if you like it, do a leapfrog where you bring both knees to the elbows like you're coming into Bakasana for like a microsecond. And then swim forward and back. Okay. Now we're going to come back through our floating plank and try our chaturangas. Little tiny dips with the chest, elbows grazing the rib cage as you lower. Legs stay level with the earth. Little dips. And we're going to make our push-ups a little bit harder. We're going to hook our feet outside in. Okay, so the outside of the swing. Hook, nope, the other outside. Yeah, there you go. Hook outside in with the feet. Beautiful. Keep the heels close to the bum. And just notice if you dip for chaturanga now, there's more weight in the upper body. So more incline push-ups. Okay, to make these even harder, walk your hands back about 6 inches towards the center of the mat. And then you'll notice you can flare your elbows out to the side for these push-ups because they're much harder. Really good, guys. Okay, hands back to the front of the mat. Pull forward with the belly for up dog. Exhale, press back, upside down dog. Now our dog gets to float. Inhale, pull forward again for up dog. Look forward, stretch the belly, stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, press back, straight arms. Release the chest towards the ground. One more time, inhale, pull forward for up dog. Exhale, press back. Upside down dog. When you get down, bend the elbows again, let the forearms touch down, clasp the hands, one more headstand with the feet hooked. And just notice the difference. Really plug the crown of the head into the floor to activate the pineal gland. Start to pull up the consciousness codes from the center of the earth. Allow there to be like a straw that you're sipping through the crown of the head, lifting the energies all the way to the tailbone, keeping that nice long line of energy through the spine, even here. See if you can stack your hips over the top of your head. What would that look like or feel like? Good job, Selena. Nice long line of energy there. And if there's a little bit of collapse, it's okay, but just know that the more advanced version of our headstand is we actually engage and stack the bones. Just whatever feels good for today. Most important thing is that we can relax and stay longer in our headstand with the support of the swing, which is not always available to us when we're doing it in the middle of the room. Okay, 5 more deep breaths here. Just dropping in. Feel the earth underneath you. Feel your body being supported. Feel the shift in the energy field. And then slowly, slowly, slowly release your feet. Pull your ankles together, knees together. Extend the feet, legs straight down towards the ground. One last time through a floating leaf. If it feels good, try and balance. Clasp your hands behind your back. Pull your hands, your interlaced fingers away from your toes. Yeah. And let yourself float. Yeah. Pull your hands away from your sacrum if you can, Jade. Down towards the ground. Yeah. Beautiful, guys. All right. You're spring loaded, so release nice and easy. Bring your hands back down to the ground, all the way to the top of the mat here. Walk forward, walk forward. Let's come out through angel wings. Keep tension on the swing. Press, press, press the hips forward to come up into a T. And holding on to the swing, come to stand. We've all earned our wings. Just notice how this band of energy feels now with all that pressure on it, all that space, all that hanging and tractioning. It's pretty intense. Do you have swings at home that you use? Yeah, so you're used to hanging? Okay, good. So we're gonna get back into the swing and come into our floating Buddha sequence. So after hitting the hips, we're gonna go back to the swing underneath our arms and work both the legs and upper body together. Okay, so we're pushing the swing down nice and low, standing in the center of the mat. A little bit quicker now that we learned our sumo. Forearm press, sliding in, 10 and 2. Wiggle the hips, see how that feels. Just gently rocking the body from side to side, playing with it. Enjoying the flow, the freestyle, the playtime. And then we're always gonna hug the swing. We're gonna grab for the leg loops and put these on at the ankles. So at first we're just gonna karate chop the foot up there. We're gonna learn how to do our core activations in a little bit. But one way or another, get the leg loops on. You guys are all pros, but this is like a half hour of the practice is just getting leg loops on the body, which is like a real thing. But we're all Jedis, so clasping the hands behind the back of the head, keeping the hips heavy, heart open, head relaxed, coming to some windshield wipers. I think we all have enough room, but be aware of your buddy, particularly their beautiful noggin, and make sure everybody has enough room to play. Beautiful, guys. Yeah, I like to keep the swing practice, 5, 6 swings, so that everyone has plenty of room in a class, which is really unusual, instead of packing everyone in, right? So enjoy the space. Take on the shape of the mat. Enjoy the sacred geometry that's in the body. And this gentle rocking swing motion from side to side. Opens up all the connective tissue. So feel the legs, feel the hamstrings, the IT bands. Feel it all the way up into the hips. Just rocking from side to side will open up all that connective tissue. It's pretty amazing. So more play, that's the answer. Okay, come on back to center, wide straddle T. Let's try our half flow. So we were working with our flow all weekend. We inhale T the arms. So watch my upper body at first. My lower body doesn't change at all. All I do is arch from behind the heart and open up into star. So let's do that for a few rounds. T, star. Just try it. See if you can get that isolation of the upper thoracic spine so your arch doesn't come from the lumbar or lower back. The lower back stays long and happy, and it's just the sternum that lifts. Beautiful. So after we do that a few rounds, we go into star, and then we bring our hands to prayer, namaste. Round the swing. Remember, we hug the swing in all the poses. Uma, hug the swing. Yes. Push the hips up, lean back so your forearms are hooked. Toes touch, long lines of energy. Reach up, grab for the swing. Let it slide towards the waist as our crown of the head points down for ladle. Wiggle it into a sweet spot. Let that feel good. From here, we're going to inhale, bicep curl, and do 10 lifts. Okay, let's activate our core. Lift and lower. Just bicep curls for today. Lift and lower. Just as we lift our own body weight, we're basically doing pretty good. And we can prepare ourselves for all the tricks and flips to come. So 10 on your own, at your own pace, your own time. 10 more bicep curls, 10 more lifts. Feel your core working. Leave your head alone. Let it be in line with your spine so you're really using your abdominal muscles to lift. If anybody wants to try it, you can try lifting with no hands. And that makes it really, really hard. You can put your fingers towards me and try and lift. I think we've done 20 now, so let's come to sit. Okay, back to windshield wipers. So this is similar to our swagger where we can let our body sway from side to side to reset whenever you want a little intermission or break. Just let yourself sway. Okay, from straight legs, let's actually come with bent knees, feet together. I call it swing bada bada. So we're making a diamond with our arms and a diamond with our legs, and we just kind of hang out. Take a few breaths. Let's glue our feet together, pushing our heels together, toes together. Reach forward for your knees. We're going to slide up as high as we can. So I call this flying monkey. So really climb up so you have a nice grip. Don't let go. We're going to push our hips towards the sky and lean back. Squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. Roll your shoulders down the back a few times. Let that feel good on the neck and chest. Then we're going to bicep curl up once again, sitting on our feet, and then exhale, lean back. Just try 10. Bicep curl, come on up. Exhale, lean back. Bicep curl and lean back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Okay, inhale, lift. We're gonna stay here. Hold on to the top of the nub if you can. Just one side. It's kind of a nice grip for the hand. Yeah, a little bit higher, Jade. Hold on to the nub. There you go. Now what we're gonna do is sink our hips down and open up our legs wide, but keep holding on. I know you wanna let go. Done. Okay, from wide straddle, let's see if we can do a few more bicep curls. Inhale, lift, find your pillar, right? So head stays in line with the body. Beautiful. And this is preparation for us to come into flying squirrel. If that's too much, don't do it. But just so you know, that's where we're going. And then from flying squirrel, we can come into flips. But we'll do that next time. Not now. But every pose that I give you, it's a preparation for something else that we're going to do. Right? So let's shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. You doing okay? I really you can take your clothes off now. So notice that was really strong on the arms. So after, like I mentioned, I was only a little bit joking that we would do 100 bicep curls by the end of today, easily, just by lifting our own body weight. Okay, so that was exciting. We have one more pose in that sequence called wow. And then we're gonna slide it into chillaxing and do some nice, chill, seated pigeon poses. Okay. So watch for this one. So it's just like flying monkey, but with wide legs. The first thing I want to do is hook my ankles by creating an X with the leg loop. So try to thread through. I pull the front one back towards me, and then I reach behind and grab for the second one, and it'll X my ankles. Really good. Sometimes that's tricky. From there, I'm going to hold on as high as I can, a nice strong grip. I'm going to pull and lean back, keeping my legs wide as I arch from behind the heart. Okay, you guys ready? You guys are doing it? Okay, so much for my demo. So inhale, lift and lean back. Exhale, come to sit. Let's try that one more time. We'll all go together. Inhale, lift, lean back, press the crown of the head towards the ground as you lift the hips up and pull strongly with the arms. And exhale. Spring loaded. Shake it out. Okay, windshield wipers, take a moment to reset. So that's called wow. Sometimes it's called whoa, or inverted W, depending on how far we go. Some people are usually surprised that they can go almost upside down and they go, whoa, it's really fun. Okay, so to go from our floating Buddha into our chilaxin pose, we're simply going to hold on to the swing and bend the knees. If we have the right slippery pants on, we might eat our clothes, but if we have the right pants on, we're going to slide right up into chilaxin. Everybody's leg loops look like they're a good height. Okay, we have about another half hour of active, and then we'll have a nice long shavasana. For our workshop today, we like to do like a half hour meditation at the end, which is super sweet. So just so you know, we're kind of riding the crest of the wave, and then we'll bring it back down nice and easy too. Okay, so you can always give it a little hop if the swing is bugging the underarms, which it will, because we're not used to hanging our weight. But we want to stay engaged in the upper body and relaxed in the lower body. So our mantra is hips heavy, heart open or lifted, head relaxed. So chilaxin arms comes from this pose. So the same movement where we come into swagger, where we play with alternating from side to side. See if you can freeze frame at the edges and let that feel really good. Get a nice stretch through the hip flexors. And just take a few breaths here, your own pace and your own time, to experience your body in a new way. When we cross planes, so we're in the horizontal plane, and when we cross the legs over the different sides of the brain, it's really good for creating new neural pathways, neural plasticity. So there's different poses that we do that are actually stimulating the communication between the left and right sides of the brain, but all we know is we're having fun. But there's a lot of scientific evidence of the importance of creating new neural pathways as we age, which is like trying new things and moving in multidimensional space. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it. So we're going to use our momentum to get the left foot on top of the right and come into a seated pigeon pose. Okay. In this version, we're pressing our hips down as we lift our chest up and keep that dynamic tension. To deepen the pose, we're going to inhale, open the arms, and exhale, hug the leg loops towards the body. Keep the chest lifted for this version, right? So we're not going to head dive. We're going to lead with the heart. I like to flex the toes back, maybe roll the ankles around. Feel the stretch tension that's happening there in the leg and glute. And then to undulate the spine, we're going to inhale, open up for star. Exhale, come back in for another hug. And take 5 rounds like that. At your own pace and time. Inhale, open, blossom. Exhale, hug and squeeze the leg loops towards you. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowing it down a little bit. Inhale, lift the chest, blossom. Exhale, hug it in. Stay here. We can also stack and cross the knees, coming into a version of Gomukhasana. I always really love this stretch. I feel like it feels so much better than on the ground. And if it's available to you, you can pull either the leg loops or the foot to deepen the stretch. You can also reach for both ankles if it's available, but it's pretty intense under the arms. So at that point, I'd like to lean back, taking pressure off the armpits. But see what feels good for you. Lots of variations. But keep holding on to the left foot with the right hand, and let's come into an extended leg twist. Maybe in this pose, your head or neck is feeling strained, so you can support your head or lean it against the swing. Yeah, so we're gonna keep holding on to, either one, but usually the other one. Hold on to the other foot. Yeah. My right hand on the leg. Well, you're kind of going backwards from Odin. Let's start with the left foot on top.
She's opposite.
Let's start with the left leg on top. Yeah. And then your right hand can grab for the left foot. And then, yeah, now we're all synced up. It doesn't matter, we're gonna do both sides, but yeah, otherwise you're like, wait a second. Thank God we only have 2 arms and legs, because I don't know how the octopus do it. The yoga, octopus yoga. Okay, let that foot lift, release, come through swagger, reset, until we get to second side. Just take a couple breaths here, play in the space. Sway it out. Have some fun with it. Whee! Right foot is going to go on top of the left. Use your momentum. Drop the hips, open the heart. You can always hang out and chillax in arms if you don't want to try the variations. It's really okay either way. Give the swing a little hop whenever you need to get it a little bit lower on the back. It's always going to ride up. And then hug the leg loops towards you if you want a deeper experience. Keep the arms engaged and keep the tailbone pressing down, reaching up and out through the crown of the head. Let's just keep working with our pillar today. I always roll my ankles around in these poses. I'm unwinding the nervous system by adding some spiral dynamics into it. Can you kind of feel that? We're just kind of, the nervous system can unwind that way. Inhale, blossom open for star. Exhale, hug and squeeze. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, blossom. Keep your hips heavy if you can, Selena. See what that's like. And just let the upper thoracic spine change in the pose. Beautiful. Inhale, open. And exhale, drop in. Hug it out. Inhaling, open. 1 more. Exhale, hug and squeeze. Maybe hug everything together so the knees stack, if that feels good. You can keep holding on to the leg loop, or the left hand can slide on down to the foot and pull that in. Maybe both hands grab for the ankles and see how that feels. Really engage through the arms and lean back to take pressure off the armpits. Anybody's feeling a little uncomfortable there, especially if you were just at the mineral spring. See, this is the spot that gets tender on me when I'm at the spring, so it's like, oh my God. We're good. Keep holding on to the right foot with your left hand and extend, right? Extended leg twist. I'm going to tee my arms, look towards my thumb, or rest your head on the side of the swing. You can always support it with the hand. No strain in the neck in any of these poses. Let the movement come from your core. Okay, lift that foot up and out. Add a little swag. Take a few breaths to reset. Just notice if the knees are happy. You can always give the leg loops a little adjustment if the knees are like, okay, that's a lot. Let me show you what we can do to mix it up if you feel like the pressure behind the knees is ever too much. We're going to reach towards our knees, always hugging the swing. Slide up the leg loops as high as possible. Bicep curl coming up to stand. Squeeze your legs together towards the center of the mat. And then we're in our high skydiver position. It's like we're going parachuting. I'd like to give these a little adjustment so they're in the sweet spot. There is a spot that is sweeter than others. Try to find it. And it's out, it's not like a thong, it's more on the outside. I call it more like a diaper on the outside of the legs. Okay, lean back and hold on to the swing, just so we can tell that there's a space here, right? We don't want to get entangled with the leg loops quite yet. We're going to bring our hands to prayer, like namaste, in front of the swing. Press our arms forward and away, and we come through a version of skydiver. I like to just flap the wings here. Can you come up onto your toes to the back of the mat, onto the balls of the feet, and push your hips forward. Beautiful. Then from there, walk it wide into a V. Good. Maybe bend a little from side to side and play with that. Thumbs up, cool Jesus, in all the poses. That's how I remember it. Yay. So we're opening up the shoulders. This movement here, Selena, of lubricating the shoulders by doing a bit of a nerve stretch. Flex your fingers back. And you'll feel the nerve stretch going down. That's also a really good way to help the shoulders recover. And then we always flex in all of our poses. So this is like the paladin pose, like, hey, why'd you do that? Or something, right? Or the Superman pose. So flexing is like trying to show off your little bicep muscles. So even higher, flex up here. Yeah, like that by your ears. Then we can slowly slide in just a little bit more. From this position, we can float. It feels a little funny on the shoulders, but it's a great stretch for the pecs instead of coming into the shoulder joint itself. So we're getting a little bit higher up into the pectorials. Then we can bring our knees wide, feet together to fly. Really good. Lift the feet up. And that's a little bit more intense on the hips. Beautiful, Uma. Okay, great. So since we already practiced our butterfly and our skydiver, we're ready to come into the bigger version, bigger butterflies. So legs are going to go wide to 9 and 3 on the mat. Engage your arms. Pull yourself back up. Lean back through center. Let's hold on to the top of the leg loops. Let's do a little bit more core strengthening. We'll learn this tomorrow, guys. This is called training wheels. We're going to do our little burpees, where we do our core activation and maybe some bicep curls and lift. That's the little burp part. We get the balance, which was really fun too. Now, we're not doing acrobatics today, but if we wanted to, that's why I call it training wheels, if we wanted to learn how to do a flip, we're going to point our toes towards the sky and maybe roll back. So just play for a couple breaths and see how that feels. Maybe the toes lift, maybe they don't. Don't worry about it. We will learn that as we get more advanced in our practices, how to work with the wheel and the pivot point at the hips. But just know this is the preparation. Good, Selena. So yeah, so what we want to do is be able to lift our legs, right? So we first lift our legs with a bicep curl, and then we try to lift them up to eye level. And then once we get them up, we straighten our arms and lean back. And it's like a wheel. We come around. So that's something to look forward to. Slide back into the knees. Give it a little hop for chillaxing. You guys are doing great. Sway it out a little from side to side. We're going to get into hummingbird, skydiver, butterfly, and then dancing Shiva. So the ones that have been in the training, you can see we're going over 1, 2, 3, 4, almost in an honest order. I do add a little bit more. But you can see how it's a pretty full class just to go through the yoga translations in a row in the same order that I was teaching you guys, right? Skipped some things, but you know, in general, it's there. Okay, so we reach for our knees, slide up the leg loops as high as we can. We're gonna bicep the leg loops, so reach for the knees one more time for me, and then slide up these thingies, there you go. These are our stabilizers, so we wanna hold on to the leg loops for all these poses. Pull ourselves up, bicep curl, wide straddle, exhale, lower, squeeze the knees, child's pose. Inhale, lift, bicep curl, wide straddle, lift from the heart. Exhale, lower, squeeze. Undulating back and forth to lubricate the hip joints. Inhale, lift. Beautiful. Exhale, lower. So this time when we lift, we're going to try to keep our hips level with our toes. So you either have to pull your toes up or pull your hips down, one way or another. Try to keep those level. And then we're going to let ourselves balance, bringing the hands in front of the leg loops. Okay, you can roll forward and back a few times over that little hump, that little tight spot. Bring your hands in front of the leg loops if you can, Jade. Yeah, out into a T. You don't have to hold on. Yeah, we're working with our balance. Good. So this looks like skydiver, right? We just kind of went through this pose. We're going to keep our arms nice and strong, teed out to the side, and then bend the elbows for a flex. Bend the knees, feet together, and slide in a little bit more. It'll be pretty intense. Pull the elbows down towards the ground as you lift your hands up. Right? Can you guys feel that stretch through the chest? Pretty amazing. Pretty deep. Big stretch. Beautiful, guys. Open up the legs wide. Pull the feet down towards the ground. Sink the hips back. Let yourself catch with your arms. Come back through center. Whew, chillax. That's kind of as big as we're going today in those poses. Let's just wash it out with a chill flow. We're going to come through center. Inhale, tee the arms. Exhale, child's. You can stay here and pause for as long as you like. It's always a good opportunity to get a reset and just rest. If you're wanting to blossom and continue on, open up for star. Then we're going to come through namaste. It's kind of similar to what we did before, but with the leg loop at the knees. Hands to prayer in front of the heart, legs together, toes touch. Press the hips up, lean back. Exhale, drop the hips. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, T. Exhale, child, hug it in. You guys are doing so great. Following along. Inhale, blossom for star. Exhale, namaste. Stay here if you're happy. Press the hips up, lean back. A few deep breaths into the neck, the chest, the front of the shoulders. Inhale, reach up, grab for the swing. Hold on. Let it slide across the hips. So you have to bring more weight into your head. Then bend the knees if you want to go into a bow pose. Reach back for your ankles if it's available for you. And if it's not, just keep holding on to the swing and arch from the back of the heart. Big back bend. Beautiful. One more deep breath. Inhaling. Exhale, release the ankles. Inhale, reach up, grab for the swing. Exhale, sink your hips down. Whew. So you get like a nice free high. Whenever we come into big back bends like that, we're opening up the central pathway, turning on the endocrine system. You'll get like a big rush of heat, maybe a full body sweat, maybe nauseous. So there's all kinds of reactions that happen when we turn on the endocrine system, which overlays the chakra system. So we're rebalancing the whole energy body. It's really cool. Does anybody want to try it again? Now that we know that we're turning on the endocrine system. Fuck yeah. Okay. So if you don't feel like doing that again, you can inhale, open up to a T, exhale, stay in a child's pose, and do a more cooling, restorative version. The back bends are very heating and yang. Inhale, blossom for star. Exhale, namaste. We prepare the spine by undulating back and forth. Push the hips up, lean back. Inhale, reach up, grab for the swing. Bring weight into the crown of the head. Shimmy the swing down to the hips for ladle. Bend the knees. Either keep holding on to the swing, or if it's available, reach back and grab for the ankles. If you grab for the ankles, pull the heels away from the crown of the head and arch from the back of the heart. Knees stay level with the hips. Nice deep breaths into the belly, pushing the hips towards the sky. Crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, release the ankles. Reach up, grab for the swing. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, hips down. And let's counterbalance just for a couple breaths, child's pose. Maybe cross the ankles and just hang out. Make it as relaxing and luxurious as possible to open up the kidneys. Breathing into the sacrum and back body. Letting that feel really good. Awesome, guys. 5 more deep breaths here. Let it feel good wherever you are. Alright, just 10 more minutes of active and then a nice long shavasana. Everybody good with that? Yes? Awesome. Any requests at this point? Does anybody want to come into an inversion? Everybody likes inversions? Yeah, we do. Okay, good. So there's a couple different ways I like to come into an inversion. Let's just watch. I know it's hard to watch, but let's just watch for the first one, and then we'll do it together. Okay? So instead of coming into bow, we're going to set it up the same way, just so we get the position across our back just right. Inhale, T, exhale, child. Inhale, blossom star. Exhale, namaste. Inhale, jump, ladle. Most important point is to wiggle. Then instead of coming into bow, we're going to bring the legs wide and around. Rotate the tailbone towards the sky. Wrap the feet together. Toes touch front of the body, front plane. Then we can just let our arms straight down. I like to clasp the elbows. If you need a little bit more space, walk your fingers towards 12 o'clock and hang out in an upside down dog. Okay, when you're ready to come out, reach up, grab for the inner thighs, legs come wide and around, and then you come to sit. Let's go ahead and try it from our flow. Okay, let's do it together one more time. Inhale, T. Exhale, child. Don't skip any steps yet. Lubricate the whole spine first. Inhale, star. Exhale, namaste. Press the hips up. Inhale, reach up, grab for the swing. Exhale, ladle. Shimmy into the sweet spot. And then legs go wide and around. We're going to bend our knees so the toes touch on the front plane. And then arms can release towards the ground. Go ahead and clasp the elbows or walk your hands to the front of the mats. You guys are all doing fantastic. Even if you're pros, I like to talk you through it. So those that are wanting to teach have all the steps. So bring the toes together and touch. Jay, beautiful. So just notice if you didn't get the swing in the perfect spot on the back, you're now kind of locked in. So if you needed to adjust it, you would go back to ladle. You look good. You would have to go back to ladle to make the adjustment. Okay? Press your hips towards the equipment, Jade, a little bit more. There you go. Now your spine is in a straight line. Can you feel that? Yeah, it's like the booty was just sinking back a little too much, but strains the lower back. Okay, let's all go into our upside down dog from here. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. It's 12 o'clock. Stretch it out. Beautiful. Okay. Inhale, pull forward for up dog. Exhale, press back, upside down dog. Keep the arms straight the whole time if you can. Toes are going to touch for this first part, and then we're going to switch it up. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Exhale, press back, upside down dog. Okay, now we're going to pull forward for up dog. Come into our handstand wide straddle. Let your legs be wide and heavy. And we're going to try a roundhouse flip. So just be mindful of your neighbor so you don't pop. But we're going to inhale, pull forward. Exhale, reach up and grab for the swing. Legs go wide and around and come to sit. Just try it. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, reach up, grab for the swing, and come to sit. There you go. Time it, everybody. Perfect. Good job, chicklets. All right, we made it. So we were practicing our roundhouse flips earlier today. I'm just going to turn back around so I can see you. And that was lots of fun. Does anybody want to do another roundhouse flip? Yes. Sure. Well, notice how we can do roundhouse flips from the knees, or we can do them from the ankles. So let's just try our inversions, and thank you for staggering and taking your time. That was really smart without me having to direct. Let's push the leg loops back down to the ankles. This will be our little playtime for today. Let's go ahead and come into some bow and arrow instead of windshield wipers, where we bend one knee and then the other knee and just play from side to side. Moving into a little bit more of an intermediate practice, our little play shop for the last 10 minutes, see how it goes. So far, so good. All right, so we can do our chill flow from here. Inhale T, exhale star, inhale namaste, exhale ladle, reach up, hold on to the swing. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, bring the legs wide and around, coming through Peaceful Warrior. And then from Peaceful Warrior, walk your hands down to the front of the mat. All the way around. Don't forget your legs. Wrap them around. There you go. Good job, Jade. Okay, hands to the front of the mat. Like we're coming into a handstand. All the way up, handstand. Press your arms straight, shoulders stacked right over the wrists. Yeah. Then you can bring your legs wide. There you go. So this is our wide straddle handstand. So now with the legs wide, it is a little bit more challenging. We can inhale, pull forward for up dog. Exhale, press back, upside down dog. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, press back. Okay, let's try it again. We're going to inhale, pull forward. Pull way past your fingertips. You'll be spring-loaded. And see if you can come to sit. Maybe you hold on, or maybe you can just let yourself do a roundhouse flip. Inhale, pull forward, exhale, you got it. You'll come to sit. Beautiful, fun. So that's our full swinging vinyasa flow, hence the name, right? Our swinging flow. So why don't you guys just watch one more time. I think it's worth it to actually try to get the pivot point in the hips, since we've been playing with that all day. See how it feels. It looks like this. I'm going to go a little bit more quickly through my flow in order to get here. We'll do that nice and slow, but I just want to show you this one part. So if I lean back, this is my upside down dog. I pull myself forward for up dog. I pull way past my fingertips, and then I can bring my hips to sit. It's okay to use your hands and grab and lift with your upper body, but if we just lower our center of gravity by dropping our hips, when our hips drop, our head lifts, right? When my hips come up, my head comes down, and I come back around. So we can play with that pivot point, and it's really fun. Then life becomes effortless. we learn to fly. Okay, if you're really swaying, you can slow your roll and bring one foot down. If you're comfortable, that's fine. Some people get a little air sick. So let's take it from the top and go nice and slow, but let's practice that roundhouse flip one more time. Just that leverage and pivot point at the hips. Inhale T, exhale star, inhale namaste, exhale reverse it, wrap the arms around the swing, press up, hooking with the forearms, inhale, reach up, grab for the swing, exhale, lower for ladle. Okay, we're gonna do this step by step. Keep holding on to the swing, bring the legs wide and around, come into your inversion. Okay, peaceful warrior. Once your toes are touching, your legs are hooked, then walk your hands to the front of the mat. Yes, there you go. Make sure your toes touch, okay. There you go. Now we bring the legs wide. Wide straddle hands, stand straight arms the whole time. Inhale, look forward, stretch the belly, up dog. Exhale, press back, straight arms, upside down dog, chest to the center of the mat. Inhale, pull forward, nice and easy on the shoulders. Exhale, press back, maybe 3 of those. Inhale, pull forward. Now pull way past your fingertips so you're spring loaded. And then drop your hips and come to sit. Yay! You guys have to time it. But yeah, good catch. Yeah, pull forward, come to sit. There you go. All right, we're getting there. Good job, guys. Okay, well that's all the excitement we have for today. Let's go back into our windshield wipers, nice and easy. Just slow your roll if you're gonna bop back there. Bring one foot down, Jade, and get underneath your plumb line. There you go. Whee! Oh my God, that was fun. Okay, what else? Anything else, Selena, that you can think of that you want to do before we bring it down? What else? Maybe we'll come into a side trade. Do a flying ninja.
Sure.
That'd be nice and chill. So we're going to come into another pigeon pose. I'm starting to cool down lap after all that excitement. So let's bend the right knee, pull it in towards the body. I call it rocking the baby. Just give the knee a little bit of a rock here. Drop the hips, square the hips towards the ground. Good. All right, so I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to press the knee down towards the ground. I call it the money pose because you get this amazing stretch through the piriformis, which is just incredible. Then my left hand is going to release the foot and grab for the leg loop as high as I can. Press your hips towards me, let the bottom of the foot find the inner thigh, knee points down towards the ground, and then let it fly. So it's like a side tree into a ninja. If you're feeling like a ninja, stretch out. Oops. Arms and butt. Yeah, no, you always want to hug the swing, because otherwise, yeah. It's like negotiating with the boob. It's either above or below, but somewhere not on. Bend the back knee. This is a really cool pose that I call supermodel. You can hook the heel and then support your head with your hand and lean back into it. It's pretty cool. Not in the training, but it's one of my favorites. It's beautiful. It's like a flying pigeon. Unfurl, come on back to center. Let's go for second side. Inhale, tee the arms. Exhale, bend the left knee in. Whew. Take a moment to rock the baby. So just pulling the knee in towards the body at first. And then we get to push the knee down towards the ground, starting to rotate the ball of the foot towards the sky. Then from there, our right hand grabs for the leg loop. Keep your arm wrapped around Uma, even though it feels a little intense. Yeah, that's the hook. And then we can pull, get the bottom of the foot onto the inner thigh, knee points down towards the ground, that's the stretch, and then let it fly. Arm extends away from the toes. Bend the back knee, support the head with the hand, and maybe that's as far as you want to go. If it's available to you, the right hand can grab for the right foot, and you can hook it and clasp the fingers together and come flying out the back. No, that's our flying pigeon pose. There you go. Beautiful, Uma. Nice. Now you're in a pretzel. Unfurl, nice and slow. Let's just come into a really gentle revolver pose. Bending the right knee in, grabbing for the left toes. Rainbow, bring your right arm overhead, reaching for your left foot with one hand or both hands. If it's available to you, rotate like a sundial, your chest towards the sky. And you can even try straightening both legs and see how that feels. Maybe it's easier, maybe it's not. And then slowly release your spring loaded. Let's try second side. Bend the left. Grab for the right toes. Opening it up into a side body stretch. Stay in a rainbow if you're happy, or grab for the right foot with one hand or both hands and rotate your chest towards the sky. Straightening the legs if it feels good. It's actually easier with straight legs, Selena. Just try it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
But then I'll get that crazy side bend stretch.
Yeah, it's totally different. Two different variations. That crazy side bend stretch. Okay, beautiful. Well, let's give our upper body a break. We're going to slowly release the leg loops one at a time. Really nice, guys. We're going to pull it down and bring ourselves down to the ground. Walk it back, coming out, pendulum swing, nice and slow. And just let your whole upper body fluff out again after all of that deep squeezing and wringing up. Okay. Standing in the center of the mat, just see if you can find your pillar. See what it feels like to roll the head and neck around a little bit. We're going to hold on to the leg loops in the center at the bottom. I think we've done plenty of strengthening for today, but let's just do 10 push-ups for fun. Or 5, or 2. We're waiting for you. So no swing. So bending the elbows, and just imagine that you're in Superfly, right? The pose that we worked on today, how you have to really press the back of your head into an invisible wall to keep your chest lifted, hands really tight underneath the shoulders, close to the rib cage, hands on a diagonal, and press your hips forward and left. Press and lift, press and lift. A little bit higher with the hands, Jade, right underneath the shoulders, right here. Yeah, right here. And left. Good. On the next press, come on down, bend the knees, bring the arms wide and around. Walk yourself back so that your knees are a quarter of the way back. That way you can bow in and have the crown of the head come to the front of the mat. Shake it out. Shake out your thoughts, your hair, your tension. Hands are going to be back behind us, and we're bowing in. If it feels comfortable, knees together, bring the knees wide if you need to. Inhale, look up. We're going to lubricate the shoulder joints. Look up first, bring the arms wide and around. When you get to the top, we're going to do tiny little presses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. So we're always going to keep our ears above our biceps. Right? That's how we keep the shoulders happy and safe. After a few pulses, we're going to bring the arms wide and around, dive back in. 5 breaths here in a floating child's pose. Let the arms be suspended, maybe add a little swag, a little wiggle to the hips. Rhythm wave through the spine, breathing into the kidneys, cooling it down, getting ready for final relaxation. One more time, come to center, inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, bring the arms wide and around. And let's just swim it out a few times like that, kind of halfway, and then back around again. So this is a good way to find full range of motion in the hip joint and the shoulder joints without any weight bearing, right? So we can do this while we're flying, but that's obviously a little bit more intense. But this allows the shoulders to turn over like we were practicing earlier. So bring them forward and back. Next time they come forward, we're gonna bicep curl, come on up. It's like a camel pose, we're on our knees. So we're just gonna negotiate with the swing. I like to come into a wrist wrap. Just try it. Maybe you like holding on with your fingers a little better, but I like bring your arms out, palms up, and then grab really tight. So we really make it tight across the wrist. Get your head back behind the swing. get the chest lifted towards the sky and pull down strongly, elbows raising the sides of the rib cage. And then we're gonna lower and lift. So keep the hips pressing forward the whole time. Lower and lift, bicep curls, right? Use your quads here. Lower and lift. So not Supta Virasana quite yet. So more of a quad press. Lower and lift. On the next one, last one, straighten the arms, let the crown of the head point down towards the ground, sink your sit bones towards your heels. Oh, stretch the front of the neck, roll the shoulders around, let it feel good. I call it rainbow instead of Supta Virasana now. Just think of making a rainbow with your body. One more deep breath. Inhale, bicep curl, come on back up. Sitting on your heels, roll it out to the side. We were doing this yesterday where it feels good to just kind of hang and drape yourself over to the side. And then we're going to change sides. So we're going to go all the way around, nice and easy. Drop the left hips down or whatever side you're on. And then let the arms hang. Make sure that your shoulder's happy here. Keep the elbow bent. Then we're going to roll it back and around. Let the feet come out in front of you. You can change your grip if you need to, or take a moment to shake it out. But I either use my fingers, use my wrist wrap, or you can clasp the hands together if you're like, I don't want to hold on anymore. Let your bum be at the center of the mat, and then bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. Lift the chest, bicycle. Let that feel good. Maybe come into a boat pose. Bicycle, boat, whatever feels good, boat. And then we're going to come into fish pose. Either let the legs lower down, crown of the head on the ground, chest lifted, or stay in boat and let the heart lift towards the sky. Roll it up towards the ground and back, and roll out the spine a few times. Nice and easy, tucking your chin into your chest. Coming into a mini cloud. Beautiful, guys. All right, release the leg loops. Bend the knees out to the side, feet together. Coming into Baddha Konasana on the ground. Maybe place your hands on your belly, arms out wide, whatever feels good. Just take a moment to relax fully and let gravity have its way with you. Feel that pull towards the center of your belonging. Feel the welcoming of the earth, bringing you back home to the self. Let it feel good to be heavy after all the floating and flying. Whew. You can always take Shavasana laying on the ground, but I highly recommend trying the cocoon. It's a wonderful rebirthing process of going back into the room. So I'm going to start to bring the lights down, bring the energy down, bring the music down. Let us drop into stillness. So pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug, recline child's pose, and then maybe just roll around on the spine for a few breaths from side to side, front and back, all around, whatever you need to do to prepare for final relaxation. It's always good to feel gravity again after so much levitation. When you're ready, roll into a comfortable seated position and then get a sip of water or anything you need to prepare for cocooning. Okay, great job everybody. Make sure you stay very hydrated after all this activity. We're going to have a sweet 20-25 minute Shavasana meditation. Sometimes I lead people through meditation, and sometimes I like to drop into quietude. Let's just see how it goes tonight. In the swing. I know, it's very exciting. Let me just lower the lights for us. So we've been shaken and stirred and twisted and wrung out after a full day. Well-earned Shavasana. If you guys know how to get in, feel free to hop in. Otherwise, I'm going to talk you through some leg stretches. So the swing spreads out. We want to be able to grab the front edge and get a nice big handful. And then we stretch it underneath our bum. We go ahead and extend it to the knees. From there, we're going to make sure we also have enough behind the back of the head so we're fully supported. Okay? The first pose that we do is called Viparita, where we bring our legs up the sides in a V shape. From here, we like to allow our arms to blossom out the back of the swing with bent elbows. So we have some room for our shoulders. And we can let our hips sway from side to side, pushing one hip bone down and then the other until we feel like we're loosening up the pelvis. Do you want that much swag, Selena?
Yeah.
Okay, good. She's flying. From this position, I usually like to bend the knees and hold on to the outer edges of the feet for a version of happy baby. And just let your baby be really happy here. Maybe roll the ankles around or play with bending one knee and then the other knee. Have some fun with it. Whew. Slowing down the breath and the thoughts, the movement. And if it feels good, straighten the legs, pull the ankle bones towards one another, holding on to the back of the calves, bow in for a mini plow, stretch the back body one more time. Whew. And then bend both knees, wrap your arms around your shins, and give yourself a big hug for reclined child's pose. You're welcome to stay here or pick any one of those positions that you like. The bottom of the feet can come together, knees open wide for a version of butterfly. Arms wrap over the chest, giving yourself a big hug. And finally rest. The other option that is really sweet is to extend the legs using the leg loops. I usually just reach around and grab them, and then we're going to stretch them out. So the foot can go inside the leg loop, and then it extends to the back of the knee. So I hook my heel, covering the arch of the foot, and then, like I'm putting on a pair of leggings, I stretch it all the way up to the knee. Usually this is the most preferred position for our extra long friends, so they don't feel so cramped in the swing. And then you get to either rest your hands on your lap, cross your arms over your chest, or go ahead and extend the arms over your head, fingertips dangling towards the floor. Drop the belly, drop the breath, drop the hips. Let the swing hug you and hold you and rock you. Let it be warming and soothing on the nervous system. It's like the warm embrace of the Divine Mother, cradling you, getting that nurturance from the womb. Keeping the eyes closed, the lips sealed, start to allow yourself to pulse with the rhythm wave that moves through the entire universe, swimming in the sea of consciousness that envelops the room. Just soften and be easy about it, sending a wave of love and gratitude over your entire body. Just let it feel good to drop. good 15 minutes of luxurious relaxation.